Oh, right, so it's time to go back to Traverse Town and meet up with our Final Fantasy friendos, since Sora found those Legos in the jungle, and maybe they could provide a clue as to where to go next. In Traverse Town, Sora, Donald, and Goofy find a waterway and proceed to full body slam that gate in order to create an opening, and inside the freaking sewers, we see that Leon, who's swinging his big ass gun sword around, with Aerith just watching him like,
sexy.
Anyway, Leon tells Sora that each world has a keyhole that needs to be sealed, and if we want to get more info, we need to go and gather and read the Ansem reports, which are scattered all over the Disney worlds. But
You can't read?
I may or may not be able to read, but either way, I choose not to.
Leon also gives Sora a magic rock, which if you take it to the fairy from Cinderella, who's just hanging out at, Merlin's house for some reason, she gives you the ability to summon Simba.
Look inside yourself, Chosimba.
Also, Sid asks Sora to give Merlin, the wizard, this one book, which turns out to be a Winnie the Pooh world. And, you could go and enter it, you become like small and run around and meet Pooh and all his best of friendos and all that other nonsense. But I'm gonna skip all of that for now for the sake of brevity. Anyway, after that, Sora takes the Legos he found to Sid in order to install them in the Govy ship because, as previously stated, Sid is obsessed with
Space!
So while Sid is out pimping out our ride, Sora and the gang search for the Twilight Town keyhole. While searching, Sora actually runs into Riku and immediately puts his fingers in his mouth. Damn, Sora, I didn't know you were into that freaky deaky stuff.
You are a super freak!
But honestly, look how happy Sora is to see his best friendo. Anyway, Riku goes on a monologue about Kairi missing and how he's so cool and how he's gonna rescue her, blah 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 blah. And Sora takes the opportunity to show off the Keyblade. And Riku is like,
Ow, what the hell is that?
Then Riku just straight up yoinks the Keyblade from Sora in order to admire it, but he gives it back because, it's Sora's and he's being a good sport. Anyway, Sora proposes that Riku comes along with them, but Donald is being a hater and doesn't want Riku on the ship for literally no reason. Like, he's just an asshole. But Riku got bored of all the squabbling and pulls a Batman. I straight up think that Riku used Zawardo because Goofy was straight up looking at him and then looked away for 0.3 seconds, looked back, and this man just vanished. Sora, though, is not impressed in the slightest by this feat of super speed and just shrugs it off and says that Riku can just take care of himself. I mean, I would think so. This man could just straight up control time at this point. Anyway, Sora goes to visit the Final Fantasy crew and they start talking about how Maleficent is evil and how she took over the world. And honestly, that's not even the worst thing she's ever done.
Until Maleficent sends a frost.
Yes.
Oh dear. She always ruins your nicest flowers.
You see, it's just as I told you. While you toiled away trying to find your dear friend, he quite simply replaced you with some new companions. Evidently, now he values them far more than he does you. You're better off without that wretched boy. Now think no more of him and come with me. I'll help you find what you're searching for.
That's some grade A gaslighting right there. Anyway, the Final Fantasy crew tells Sora to just straight up do a Quasimodo and ring the bell 3 times, which he does, and then our old friend the guard armor pops back up and literally gets his ass beat in 0.5 seconds. But then he decides to transform
Into a gigantic
Maid!
with a vacuum cleaner.
This does absolutely nothing to help the guard armor since it crumbles just the same. Anyway, after we beat up the Heartless, Sora seals the keyhole to Twilight Town, and you know what? It's off to go see more Disney Worlds, baby!